Hello there. This is Adel Shahid, and today we're going to go over the 3D fundamentals. So, this 3D fundamentals, it might be boring, and it's usually brushed off in a lot of 3D courses out there, or just skimmed over. Uh, so, it's important for you to know these 3D fundamentals because these are the foundation of any 3D software, a game engine, and also rendering. And it will enable you to, knowing this information, will enable you to troubleshoot, maybe in the future become a tech artist, build shaders, or do VFX. All right. So, first thing first, we're gonna go through the components of a 3D object. And the first most basic component is the vertex. So the vertex, this beautiful dot right here, it holds a lot of information, as simple as it may look. Okay. So the information that it holds, if we're going to look at this is the first information. It holds location data. If you're noticing here at the vertex transformation, this enables the GPU and the 3D software to triangulate where that dot in the 3D space and render it and tell us, hey, this dot is here. So that is the first information that it holds. And the cool thing is that this transform information that we have, the location data, it can hold multiple location data. So when you have multiple location data, it means you can change it. And when you change it, you have animation. So it can hold also vertex animation. That's how they used to do things in old games. So the next thing that uh, what it can do, okay, is that if we're gonna meet two vertices, okay, they are gonna be we're gonna connect it, and they're gonna create an edge. And if we have at least three vertices connected, it's gonna create a face. Okay, so what else can this vertex hold? So if we're gonna go here and gonna select the object, and we're gonna go to data. So in here, this is very important that for you to be aware of is the object data property. So the object data property, it has a bunch of options in here. So this is telling you what the object can hold. Okay. So there is vertex group. So you can group these vertices together. So I'm going to select this one, and I'm going to start a new group by pressing the plus and assign. And I'm going to do the same thing for the other side. And I'm going to do the same thing for this side. And just very quickly, we're creating different groups. So if I'm going to select this one and I say select, haha. So it's going to help us select different vertex group. We can group them together. And this is going to be useful later on for multiple things. Okay, so what else these vertex can hold? So here we're going to look at our object, okay, and we are going to see the way that is shaded. Okay, we're going to see these planes, okay, multiple planes that makes this sphere. And this is what brings us to the next information that this vertex can hold, which is called normal. We have all heard of the term normal as a 3D artist, okay? Or you have heard it in video games that the normal maps are not working. What are normals? What are normals? So the normals, if we're going to go here in the overlays and we're going to click on this arrow, we have in the bottom normals. So I'm going to activate the first one, and this is the vertex normals. So this is how a 3D object gets rendered and lit in 3D space. So we're going to go to shading mode, and now the object, there is no light. and we are going to bring in a light. So let's start with the most basic light out there. This is the sunlight. The cool thing about the sunlight is that wherever it is in 3D space, it will always do the same thing, which is point in the same direction, just like the sun. So here, we're going to look at the 3D object. We're going to look at the vertex normals. So you see here, this vertex normal is pointing up, which is pointing toward the sun. And then bit by bit, it starts to point away. And you see, the more it points in the opposite direction, there is absence of light. So basically, what the light is doing is ray casting, and whatever is pointing, okay, in the same direction towards the sun, that's going to be lit. So that's what the normal information is. Okay, so now why do we have these faces looking like it's a bunch of planes? So this is where split normals. So what are split normals? So if you're seeing here, every vertex now has four lines. So one, two, three, four. One, two, three, four. Each of them. Okay. So, okay, let's go back to maybe the sphere, UV sphere is a little more complicated. Let's go back to the plane. Uh-huh. Okay. This has each vertex has a single line, not like the sphere. But if we're going to extrude the face, okay. So suddenly, when we extruded the face and we started pulling it down, suddenly these two vertices specifically started to have more vertex direction. So if I'm going to select these now, I'm going to extrude. Aha. Now this vertex has four lines. So one, two, three, four. Why? So you see here, every face is pointing in a certain direction, right? And this vertex is being shared by these four faces. So it holds normal information for each face. And that's why we have four lines for this vertex, four normal directions. So if we're going to add some vertices here, and we are going to select for only this area a smooth shade. So I'm going to Control F, access the face data, and we are going to modify the shading for this area into smooth shading. Okay. So this is not sharp anymore. And if you notice the vertex, it has a single line. So it unified everything, all of the vertice direction for the four faces in this area to be a single line. So it unified the lighting for all of them. While here in this area, if you notice, because we did select this one to be unified, so this one is holding for only three faces, and the third line, okay, is being merged with one of them. So if we're gonna go back to our sphere, we're gonna go to edit mode. We're gonna look at all of these and Control F, smooth shade. Oh, select everything, sorry. Control F, smooth shade. Bam. Now the object is smooth and all of the vertex direction is pointing in the same direction, and it's unified all of these split normals. So why is that information necessary? This is nerd talk, right? So here it is. This technique, this information, it's used heavily in stylized shading. So when you get Genshin Impact, when you get Dragon Ball Z, when you get Guilty Gear XR, all of these games, they use any kind of stylized on anime shading that is out there, usually use object with custom normal. So this is where you customize the normal to serve a specific purpose, and that's very important for stylized shading. So it's good information to have in your head and be a nerd like us. All right. So this is the object normals. And now we understand that the object also hold normals.